Have you ever stopped to wonder why Americans buy so much stuff? Not just the essentials, food, clothes, shelter, but everything else. Gadgets, upgrades, collections, convenience. From lining up for Black Friday sales to scrolling Amazon late at night, consumerism isn't just a habit, it's a deeply rooted part of the American identity. Today, we'll be discussing one of the most defining and disturbing traits of American life: its obsession with consumption. The need to buy, upgrade, replace, repeat. It's 1910. The air inside the factory is thick with the scent of oil and sweat. Thomas, a 17-year-old machinist, stands at the assembly line for 10 hours a day, stamping parts for a product he'll never afford. But he's not alone. Thousands just like him are helping reshape the American economy, one repetitive task at a time. Back then, everything was changing. Factories didn't just change how things were made, they transformed how many things could be made. Handmade goods gave way to mass production. Items that once symbolized luxury became accessible to everyday people. Fast forward a few decades, and those very products began lining the shelves of department stores. For many Americans, walking into Macy's or Sears wasn't just shopping, it was a moment. People dressed up. Elevator music played softly. Escalators lifted you into a new class of consumer. Shopping became more than a transaction. It was a day out, a weekend ritual, a lifestyle. Then came the 1950s. Picture a young family in a freshly built suburb. A father home from a war, a mother vacuuming the living room in heels, and two children watching commercials between Saturday morning cartoons. The economy was booming, and for the first time, Americans weren't just working to survive. They were working to acquire new cars, new kitchens, new comforts. And with that came a subtle shift. To be American was to consume. It's 1955. A mother in Chicago flips through the latest issue of Life magazine while her baby naps beside her. On one page is a detergent ad promising her whiter whites. On the next, a smiling housewife shows off a brand new washing machine. She pauses. Maybe her old one still works, but this new model? It looks like something a woman who has it all would own. This wasn't just marketing, it was engineering, of desire, of identity, of aspiration. Beginning in the 1920s, advertisers stopped focusing on what products did and started focusing on what they meant. Edward Bernays, nephew to Sigmund Freud, introduced a revolutionary idea: sell to the unconscious mind. A cigarette became a symbol of freedom. A car wasn't just for transportation, it was for power, status, masculinity. And as the decades passed, these messages only grew louder. Television brought them into every living room. Ads weren't just selling products, they were selling belonging. They whispered, "You'll be happier, sexier, more successful if you buy this." And Americans listened. A father of three saw an ultra-modern refrigerator while standing in line at a downtown appliance store. He knew it the moment his wife showed him the Sears catalog. Still, standing at the checkout counter, he didn't hesitate. He reached into his wallet and pulled out something new: a Bank AmeriCard. No cash, no savings, just a promise to pay it off later. It wasn't just a purchase, it was a quiet leap of faith that next month's paycheck would cover today's convenience. And in several homes across America, millions were making that same leap. When Bank of America introduced the Bank AmeriCard in 1958, it changed everything. With credit cards, people didn't need savings, they needed trust in a plastic rectangle. And as prices rose and wages remained stagnant, borrowing became the only way to maintain a middle-class lifestyle. It worked, but it also wired a dangerous message into American minds. Buying could be detached from budgeting. You didn't need to wait, you just needed to swipe. Today, over $1 trillion in credit card debt looms, and millions live paycheck to paycheck, not just because of inflation, but because the system encourages living beyond your means. A woman walks into her garage, shuffling past bikes, unopened boxes, and last year's Christmas decorations. She sighs. No room left. So, she does what millions of Americans do. She drives to a storage unit and rents space for her overflow. In the 1970s, homes averaged about 1,500 square feet. That seemed like plenty. But today, homes are over 2,400 square feet on average, and still there's not enough room. The self-storage industry has exploded. The US has over 50,000 facilities, more than McDonald's and Starbucks combined. Entire businesses exist to house the things people no longer need but aren't ready to part with. It's not just clutter, it's cultural. Ownership is emotional. Letting go feels like loss. In a Los Angeles mall, a teenager grabs 5 tops from a sale rack. None cost more than $10. She won't wear them more than twice. Fast fashion has turned clothing into fast food. Cheap, fast, disposable. Americans toss out over 80 pounds of clothes per person each year. It's not just waste, it's churn. Tech is no different. Every fall, sleek commercials make your perfectly fine phone feel outdated. Laptops age like milk. Repairs? More expensive than replacement. Why bother fixing when new is only a payment plan away? This isn't accidental. It's planned obsolescence. A strategy built to keep you buying again and again. What breaks isn't just your device, it's your sense of satisfaction. It's not a bug, it's a feature. A cracked screen, a slow update, a battery that drains too fast, all by design. Manufacturers intentionally limit product lifespan to guarantee return customers. This strategy reshaped consumer behavior. Buying is no longer a solution to a problem, it is the problem. Americans have learned to expect disappointment, to anticipate the next release, to normalize the idea that ownership is temporary. And corporations, they cash in on every update, every upgrade, every artificial failure. It's 2:17 a.m. A man lies in bed, bathed in the blue light of his phone. He clicks buy now. It'll be on his porch before he wakes up. The internet made shopping easier. Then it made it compulsive. Algorithms study you. Ads follow you. Social media doesn't just show you what's trending. It shows you what you want before you know it. Influencers film unboxings as entertainment. Your friend posts a haul from a brand you didn't even know existed yesterday. Shopping has become a performance, one we all feel pressured to join. Impulse has become the default. There's no time to question. Just tap, swipe, deliver. A woman sits on her couch, surrounded by unopened boxes. She doesn't remember ordering half of it. She doesn't feel joy. She feels anxious. Material goods provide a rush, but the high fades fast. And when it does, emptiness creeps in. Retail therapy is no longer ironic, it's real. For many, shopping is a coping mechanism, a distraction from loneliness, stress, or boredom. But the relief is temporary. What remains is debt, clutter, and guilt. Studies link compulsive shopping to anxiety and depression. It's a feedback loop. Emotional discomfort leads to spending, which leads to more discomfort and more spending. Americans aren't just buying stuff, they're buying escape. In a Denver thrift store, a college student browses for clothes. Not because she can't afford new ones, but because she refuses to support fast fashion. Younger generations are rewriting the rules. They're buying less, choosing secondhand, embracing minimalism and asking better questions. Where was this made? Who made it? What's the environmental cost? Movements like Buy Nothing, zero-waste lifestyles, and intentional living are gaining traction. And while the tide hasn't turned entirely, the cracks in the system are widening. Still, change is hard. The economy depends on spending. Jobs, stock markets, marketing agencies all thrive on the idea that more is better. A t-shirt sold in New York was stitched in Bangladesh with cotton from India, shipped by a freighter burning heavy fuel across oceans. America's shopping habits aren't just local, they're global. Every purchase affects supply chains, labor rights, and ecosystems in places most Americans will never see. The true cost of consumption is often paid by someone else. And as demand rises, so does the pressure on natural resources, the climate, and underpaid workers. The US may be the epicenter, but the shockwaves are felt worldwide. So, why is America so obsessed with buying stuff? Well, because it's been taught, reinforced, engineered, and celebrated for over a century. It's not a personal failure, it's a national blueprint. But there's another way. We don't have to measure success by how full our closets are. We don't have to treat things like therapy. We don't have to keep buying to feel whole. What if we stopped asking, what should I buy next, and started asking, what do I really need? If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who just ordered something they don't need. Until next time, stay curious.